Om Shanti. Today is 1st of August. Golden Visions of Bapdada, Essence of Murli. Sweet children, you have to make your stage karmatit by study, as well as that you also have to show others the way to become pure from impure. Therefore, do spiritual service. Question is, by remembering which mantra can you prevent yourself from performing sinful acts? Answer is, the Father has given you the mantra. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, and think no evil also. Remember this mantra. You must not perform any sinful acts through your physical organs. Everyone in the Iron Age commits sin. This is why Babdala shows you the way to imbibe the virtue of purity. This is the number one virtue. Om Shanti. In front of whom are you children sitting? It must surely be in your intellects that you are sitting in front of the purifier, the bestower of salvation for all, our unlimited Father. Although the Father is in the body of Brahma, you still have to remember Him. Human beings can't grant salvation to anyone. No human being can be called the purifier. You children have to consider yourselves to be souls. He is the Father of all souls. That Father is making us into the Master of heaven. You children should know this, and so you should experience happiness. You children also know that from being residents of hell, you are becoming residents of heaven. You are being shown a very easy way. You residents of heaven. You are being shown a very easy way. You simply have to remember Him and also inculcate divine virtues into yourselves. You have to examine yourselves. There is the example of Narad. Whose example? Narad. The Father, the ocean of knowledge, give all of those examples. All the examples that the sannyasis etc. give were originally given by the Father. People on the path of devotion simply continue to sing. Although they give examples of the tortoise, the snake, the buzzing moth, etc., they are not able to do anything themselves. On the path of devotion, they simply repeat the examples that the Father gives now. The path of devotion is of the past. Whatever happened in a practical way at this time is later remembered on the path of devotion. Although they celebrate the birthday of the deities and of God, they don't know anything. You are now beginning to understand everything. You take techniques from the Father to become pure from impure, and you also show others the path to become pure from impure. This is your main spiritual service. First of all, given anyone who comes to you the knowledge of souls. You are a soul. No one knows about souls. Souls are imperishable. At the right time, a soul enters in a body. Therefore, you repeatedly have to consider yourself to be soul. The Father of us souls is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. He is also the Supreme Teacher. You children have to remember this at every moment. You should not forget this. You now understand that you have to return home. Distraction is standing ahead of you. In the golden age, the DT family is very small. In the iron age, there are many human beings. There are immunerable religious and immunerable opinions. None of these things exist in the golden age. You children should keep these matters in your intellects throughout the day. This is a study, is it not? In worldly studies, they have so many books, etc. They have to buy new books for each class. Here, there is no question of books or scriptures, etc. Here, there is just one thing, just one study. When the British government used to be here, it was a kingdom of kings, so they didn't use photos of anyone but the king or queen on the stamps. Nowadays, they continue to make stamps of even devotees, etc., who have been and gone. When it is the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan, there will be just be the picture of one emperor and one empress. It is not that the pictures of the deities who existed in the past have all been destroyed. No, people have great interest in buying all pictures of the ancient deities because the deities are next to Shiv Baba. You children have to imbibe all of these things in order to show others the path. This is a completely new study. You heard this previously and claim a status. No one else knows this. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is teaching you Raj Yoga. The Mahabharata war is very well known. We shall see what happens as we progress further. Some say one thing and others say something else. Day by day, human beings will continue to be touched by this. They even say that there is going to be a world war. Before it take place, you children have to reach your karmatic stage through this study. However, there is not a war between the devils and the deities. At this time, you are the Brahmin community and you then become the deity community. This is why you are imbibing divine virtues in this birth. The number one divine virtue is purity. You have been committing so much sin through your bodies. It is the souls that are said to be sinful souls. Souls commit so many sins through their physical sense. Who is told, hear no evil, see no evil? It is souls that hear through these ears. The Father has reminded you children, you used to belong to the original eternal deity religion. You went around the cycle and you now have to belong to it again. When these sweet memories emerge, the soul has the courage to become pure. It is in your intellects how you have played your part of 84 births. This is what you were in the beginning. This is a story. It should enter your intellects that 5,000 years ago we were deities. We souls are residents of the incorporeal world. Previously, we didn't have the slightest clue about that being the home of us souls and that we come from there to play our parts. That we become part of the Sun dynasty and then the Moon dynasty. You are now the Brahmin dynasty, the children of Brahma. You have become the children of God. God sits here and gives you teachings. That Supreme Father is also the Supreme Teacher and the Supreme Guru. By following His directions, we are making all human beings elevated. Liberation and liberation in life are both elevated. We will go to our home, then come down as pure souls and rule. This is a cycle. This is called the discus of self realization. This is an aspect of knowledge. The Father says your discus of self realization should not stop. By spinning in continuously, your sins will be absolved and you will conquer Ravan. Your sins will be erased. You now have awareness of all of these. Therefore, you can think about it. It is not that you have to sit and turn the beads of a rosary. You souls have this knowledge inside you. Therefore, you children have to explain it to other brothers and sisters. Children will also become helpers, will they not? I make you children into spinners of the discus of self realization. I have this knowledge, which is why I am called the ocean of knowledge, the seed of the human world tree. He is also called the master of garden. Shiv Baba has shown the seed of the deity religion. You are now becoming deities, even if you only continue to remember the much throughout the day. You can experience a great deal of benefit. You have to imbibe divine virtues. You also have to become pure. Husband and wife live together and yet remain pure. There is no other religion like this. On the path of isolation, only the men remain pure. They say it is difficult for husband and wife to live together and remain pure. However, everyone was like this in the golden age, were they not? People sing the praise of Lakshmi and Narayan. You now understand that Baba changed us from Shudra into Brahmins and is making us into deities. We will then change from being worthy of worship to worshippers. Then, when you go on to the path of sin, you will build temples to Shiv and worship him. You children have the knowledge of your 84 births. The Father says, you didn't know about your 84 births? I now tell you. No human being can tell you this. The Father is now making you into spin of the discus of self-realization. You souls are becoming pure. When we are spin our self-realization cycle and self-realization discuss, we become pure and go to the uh, deity's relation in the heaven. Baba says that your bodies can't become pure here. When your souls become pure, you will have to leave your impure bodies. All souls have to become pure and return home. The pure world is now being established. All the rest will return to the sweet home. Remember this. Together with having remembrance of the Father, you also have to remember your home because you now have to return home. You have to remember the Father in the home. Although you know that the Father enters this body and speaks knowledge to you, don't allow your intellects to break away from the supreme abode, your sweet home. The teacher leaves his home and comes here to teach you. After teaching you, he will go far away. He can go anywhere in a second. A soul is such a teeny point. You should be amazed. The Father has given you knowledge of souls. You also know that there is nothing dirty in heaven through which your heads or feet or your clothes would become dirty. The customers of the deities are very beautiful. The customs of the deities are very beautiful. Their clothes are first class. There will be no need to wash them. There should be so much happiness on seeing them. The soul knows that this is what we are to become for our future 21 births. Simply continue to look at this. Everyone should have this picture. You should have great happiness that this is what Baba is making you. So, why do your children of such a father cry? You should not have any worries. People go to temples of the deities and sing song of praise. You are full of all virtues, etc. They recite so many names. All the names that they remember are written in the scriptures. Who wrote them in the scriptures? Vyas, or even some new ones write them, the scriptures. Earlier, the Granth was very small and handwritten. They have now made it so large. They must surely have made additions to it. Guru Nanak simply comes to establish a religion. Only the one gives knowledge. Even Christ simply comes to establish a religion. When someone has come down, you will then all return. Who is the one who sends you home? Is it Christ? Baba asked a question. Who is the one who sends you home? Is it Christ? No, he is in a different name, form and Tamo Pradhan stage. He has to pass through the Sato, Rajo and Tamo stages. At this time, everyone is Tamo Pradhan. Everyone is in a stage of total decay. At this time, having taken rebirth, those of all religions have become Tamo Pradhan. Everyone now definitely have to return home. The cycle has to return again. First, the new religion that existed in the golden age is needed. The Father comes and establishes the original eternal deity religion. Then destruction has to take place. There is establishment, destruction, and then sustains. In the golden age, there is just one religion. Do you remember this? Baba asked, do you remember this religion? Bring the whole cycle into your awareness. We will now complete the cycle of 84 births and then return home. While walking and talking, spin the discus of self-realization. Those people say that Krishna had a discus of self-realization with which he killed everyone. They have shown a picture of Akasur and Bakasur, pair of devils. However, there was nothing like that. You children now have to remain spinners of the discus of self-realization because your sin will be cut away by doing that. Any devilish nature will vanish. There can't be a war between deities and devils. Devils exist in the Iron Age, whereas deities exist in the Golden Age. And there is the confluence is in between. The scriptures belong to the path of devotion. There is no name or trace of knowledge. In the path of devotion, Baba says that there is no name or trace of knowledge in devotion path. The ocean of knowledge is the one Father of all. Without the Father, no soul can become pure or return home. You definitely have to play your parts. Therefore, you now also have to remember your cycle of 84 births. We will go into our golden age, new birth. We will not receive such a birth again. There is Shiv Baba and this Brahma Baba. There is a Lokik Father, the Parlokik Father, and this is the Alokik Baba. It is only at this time that you call this one Alokik. You children remember Shiv Baba, not Brahma. Although people go to worship Brahma in the temple, that worship is only of the perfect awake image in the subtle reason. This bodily being is not worthy of being worshipped. He is a human being. Human beings are not worshipped. Brahma is portrayed with a bread. Brahma is portrayed with a bread. Therefore, you can tell that he belongs here. Deities don't have words here. All of these things have been explained to you children. Your name is glorified, and this is why your temples have been created. The Somnath temple is the highest of all. What happened after you were given nectar to drink? Now, look at the Dilwara Mandir temple here. The temple is an accurate memorial. You are shown sitting on the ground doing tapasya, and heaven is portrayed with above it. People think that heaven is up above somewhere. How could they create heaven down below in the temple? That is why they portrayed it above on the ceiling. Those who created them don't understand anything. You have to explain this is to the millionaires. You have now received knowledge, therefore you can give this to many others. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, and Bab Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says namaste to the spiritual father. Now, essence for dharana. Today's first point is, in order to finish your devilish nature, spin the discus of self-realization as you move around. Keep the whole cycle in your awareness. Second point is, together with having remembrance of the Father, your intellect should also be connected to the home, the supreme abode. Think about the things that the Father has reminded you of and benefit yourself. Once again, think about the things that the Father has remembered you of and benefit yourself. Blessings of today. Baba gives blessing. May you be one with the determination to make a total sacrifice and celebrate the transformation ceremony. May you be one with the determination to make a total sacrifice and celebrate the transformation ceremony. Explanation is, there is a saying, even if you have to die, you must not let go of your religion. So, no matter what circumstances come, even if a Mahavir from the Maya comes in front of you, do not let go of your principles. Do not take back into your thoughts the useless things that you have re-embellished from your mind. Always be an elevated actor, and with your powerful form of elevated self respect, elevated awareness, and elevated life, continue to play the game of greatness. Finish all games of weaknesses. When you have the determination to make such a total sacrifice, the ceremony of transformation will then take place. Now, collectively fix a date for this ceremony. Slogan is, become a real diamond and spread the sparkle of your vibrations into the world. Become a real diamond and spread the sparkle of your vibration into the world. Okay? Om Shanti. Now remembering Baba for the 5 minutes.
पाकर तुम्हारा प्यार बाबा जिंदगी संवर गई सारे जहां की खुशियाँ दामन में मेरे भर गई पाकर तुम्हारा प्यार बाबा जिंदगी संवर गई पाकर तुम्हारा प्यार बाबा जिंदगी संवर गई सारे जहां की खुशियाँ